And so, class, the conflict between Grogar and Gusty the Great concluded with the siege of the old capital, where Gusty's forces stormed the capital and both Grogar and Gusty the Great forever disappeared, never to be seen again. Yes, what is it?
Was it true Gusty the Great disliked Pegasi and Earth ponies back then? After all, this is before the Hearth's warming story, isn't it?
Ah yes, that is a really interesting question. See, the thing is, while the hearth-warming story is but fiction, it does show the prejudice that ponies showed towards each other during this time. But despite all of this, Gusty was able to put their differences aside and help the tribes rise up against the tyrant. As you saw from the story, while she had a personal army of unicorns, she also led an earth pony rebellion against the tyrant. In fact, it was only when she disappeared was when the tribes showed their prejudice again, before uniting to create Equestria as we know it.
But didn't she herself dislike the rival tribes, being a unicorn after all? As she was still a part of the tribe that she was binded to, right?
Well, we may never know truly, as the records don't show this side of Gusty the Great. However, given of what we know of her, Gusty the Great was probably the first pony to unite Equestria before she disappeared. Maybe she was prejudiced, but the thing is about revolutionaries, they're never as one-sided as we try to make them to be. After all, they are ponies like us. Their worlds were only shaped by the societies they were born into. But they saw the problems their society struggled with and stood up to fix them. One way or another, they succeeded at least with their ideals, not always in practice.
Wow, thank you, sir. May I ask one other question first before you finish class?
You may.
Who was the first alicorn of Equestria? And if we do know who it was, where exactly did they come from?
Hmm. So the first ever unicorn that came to the historical record was Princess Amor of the Crystal Empire, descendant of Princess Cadence and one of the first of the House of Love. I've heard numerous theories on their origin. One theory involves hybrids with a unicorn and Pegasi pair, and another theory suggests magical experiments from a unicorn led to the first alicorn, whether it be Princess Amor or some pony else. I had a discussion with a friend with this question, and he came up with a unique theory, one that I hadn't heard before. She suggested that perhaps Emperor Grogar himself had created the alicorns. But that raises an even more interesting question. Were the alicorns created as monsters by Grogar to rule over the ponies of Equestria if he ever died? Or were they a part of the pony populace as liberators against Grogar himself? We may never know, but it's something to think about and theorize. Anyway, thank you for all the questions. I hope we have more discussions like this in the future. Class dismissed.